going out there. You know, you just keep bringing it up. So maybe it's your mind telling you.
Yeah,
get back
it's
into
that subconscious thing. Poker is fun, I will admit.
it is fun. But yeah, no, here in this third and final game, as you said, I'm not too sure the exact split with the prize pool either, but it's a lot of money nonetheless. So definitely playing for quite a bit. And here we are on Friday night. Of course, the good thing about both these teams, obviously, for the Australians, well, it's actually fairly early on for them. It's been fairly early on in the morning for them. That's just how they play. For tdM, of course, in that evening time frame. For them here on this Friday night. So excited to be here. And again, this will be the last match no matter what. And that kind of, it kind of hypes you up a little bit more, I guess you could say, because it's kind of cool because we have been doing a lot of coverage today knowing that this will be the final match, so we can finally, enjoy the night for what it is beyond this. But at the same time, it's so great because this is everything. This is it here with these two very, very, very good teams. So looking forward, really am, to seeing what happens here in this third and final game. The banning phase is finished. What are we looking at?
Let's take a look here. Fnatic Ray gonna have first ban, and Slixia started off with my favorite hero, Keeper of the Forest. Gonna be knocked off the picking list here to start things off, but it will be followed up by Tempest, Glacius, Ophelia, Parasite, Magebane, Tundra, and Valkyrie. So yet again, we see B-Kid here from the team Trademark Esports banning Valkyrie, which is still a little bit surprising. I mean, as we've noted a couple times, Fray has a plethora of players that can play Valkyrie very well, but still a little bit surprising to see her banned, and that does leave quite a few scary heroes open as we see the first few picks made almost instantly. Slicks right-clicking or left-clicking, Bubbles, ready up, let's do this thing. I'm down.
Yeah. I always love Slicks is definitely just one of those players that does it all the time too, and that's what makes him. And we've actually talked to him about how he's got, that captain role for the team and how he does the picks, but at the same time, he does allow his team to get some freedom in terms of what they feel like. At some points, it'd be like pick whatever you feel like playing between these 3 or 4 heroes, and so it gives them that freedom. But because you look what he does too, though. I mean, he picks up Pebbles and readies up right away. So. I just love that attitude of, I know what I'm going with. I'm very confident that I'm going to make it work, and he definitely backs it up 99% of the time. So, yeah, it's always cool to see that from him. And the fact that he's playing Pebbles, by the way, too, is a very scary thing, as usual, for the opposition. And now you got Nymphora to go with that, as well as a Torturer pick. So Fray's lineup looking very stun-heavy and very burst-heavy at the same time as well already.
Oh, yes, they are. I mean, this is the first time we've seen Nymphora Pebbles today, and for quite some while, so I'm going to be pumped to see that lane combo, as I think most of us pretty well aware. Personally, one of my favorite lane combos. I think it's just so deadly. Nymphora is a ridiculously strong hero when paired up in one of those aggressive lanes. Of course, Tundra is banned here, which is going to be very nice for Fray, and they were actually the ones to ban Tundra, so perhaps they were considering this Nymphora Pebbles kind of strategy all along here in this drafting phase, as of course Tundra, one of the few counters to Nymphora's ultimate with that bird, can help out with the sight, the scouting around to try and keep tabs on where she's at. So it might be a little bit more difficult for tdM to keep tabs on those heroes. Of course, Silhouette is on the board here, so tdM may opt for a Silhouette choice. Just saying.
Once again, yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see if that is the case. Everybody else will see them right-click on that Moraxis, and obviously B-Kid has shown that he can play very dominating Moraxis, but indeed it's not going to be him. Instead, they go Illuna Behemoth here to kind of go up against the Fray lineup of what they've put together. So feeling comfortable that will work better than their previous setup that they have, and it does intrigue me with how they're going to finish off here, because of course you got Bubbles and Hag, the 2 solos. Are we going to see a... It's not going to be a jungle, because all of them are really big, unless they go with something like a Legionnaire here. I mean, unless they go with some... Or Wild Soul, as you talked about. We did see him lately, so I guess it still technically could be a jungle, but probably going to see a pure roaming Illuna Behemoth with your last hero, being a solo as well. So really intriguing. You see them right-clicking Revenant now. That'd be something too, but... I know Sender did say that he is actually thinks that Revenant is actually a powerful hero too, so we'll see. Yeah, that is the case.
I mean, we have seen some pretty sick Revenant plays, so certainly could be viable. Magmus is on the board here for Fray, so right now they've got a great solo Torturer, a nice lane combo. They could pick up another dirty lane combo here, could certainly be Pretty powerful. So many good heroes still on the board. Electrician, Cthulhuphon are two of them. I mean, there's still Polywog Priest as well as a couple of others. Jereziah still left on the board, but of course, Electrician going to be picked up here. So we'll see what Troubadour does with this last pick. Only about 30 seconds left as far as decision making is concerned. Right-clicking Sandwraith here, of course, making us all giggle a little bit inside.
Good old Sandwraith trial lane. You talked about that yesterday.
We actually did. And, Behemoth and Luna are two heroes that could tri lane. Just saying.
God, if they go with Sandwraith. I swear to God.
If they go with Sandwraith, I will be...
they go with Sandwraith!
Just
all right.
AFK picking my jaw up off the floor.
It was an actual pick, right? Yes, it was. He did select it, and he read his up right away. So here we go. We got a Sandwraith pick, ladies and gentlemen. Now, great thing about Sandwraith, he will farm a lot. He'll farm a lot. But no, serious note though. Thing with Sandwraith, again, what we did see him a lot. We talked about this obviously in the tri lane meta when that was very, very popular. He was a big part of that, and there was points. He was just literally unstoppable. Once he gets that Helm of the Black Legion Mocker Brilliance combination, it becomes ridiculous with the amount of carry potential that he has because of that ultimate, and because of he's also very annoying to try to gank. Similar to a Mageman who has a Blake, he has that the Desert's Curse, or as well as his ultimate for that matter. Or is it called the Desert's Curse? Yeah, Desert's Curse. So
damn desert.
And the whole dissipate thing can be very annoying to fight against him because that's all that counter damage coming out to you when you are trying to do damage to himself. So there is a lot of AoE damage as well on this Legion side, and I think that actually might be more of a reason why they went with the Sandwraith pick. Again, talking about that dissipate, how that can be very useful when there's so much AoE damage taking place. So this is something though, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what to make of it. I think I've seen Sandwraith once in my time casting Han, and Black Fade were the ones to actually do it, and it did not work out at all. It was like a 12-minute concede breaky. It was awful. I hope that's not the case here. I mean, I don't know what to make of Sandwraith. I really don't.
It's different, and it works in that trial lane, and it has a lot of carry potential. And he has received several nerfs since he was considered to be that very just dominant go-to carry that just really took over the competitive scene for a little bit of time that he did. But still definitely useful. Still definitely useful. In fact, I want to say he received a buff. I forget so many changes that have been made, obviously, throughout history, but I want to say that one of the more recent changes to him was actually a buff to his ultimate. I can't exactly place what it was, but I think it was something in terms of buff to his ultimate that, it made us at least talk about him a little bit, saying, maybe Wilson's seen him. But...
Breaky, I know exactly what it was.
Okay.
Now when he uses his ult, when he goes to an illusion, the other ones don't despawn. They still stay and keep auto-attacking for the full duration.
Yeah, that's right.
Damn, I just smacked you with some knowledge. Woo! I don't know how I remembered that. I really don't. That's why I'm so proud. It's just an arbitrary, there are those heroes that we never see, and it's sort of like, well, I'm not gonna. That information just isn't so relevant. You're browsing through the patch notes, and you're like, oh wow, they changed Sandwraith's ult. I don't really care. I'm not gonna make an effort to remember that. Why I remember that, I have absolutely no idea. So I'm quite proud.
Yeah, you're right though. I mean, that is huge, and that could definitely be, especially when you have that Mock of Brilliance. It can be very, very, very powerful. So, obviously, Watalaba reconnecting here, so it looks like he is back, and we are going to see that trial up top though, as we see right here with Behemoth and Aluna coming up here. So again, it's not like this is any secret here by tdM. And now it is going to be interesting because you don't usually build a tri-lane. That's what made that final pick so great at the same time. But at the same time, that's what was intriguing to me, because how they went to that fifth and final pick, it was looking very possible that they were going to run a tri-lane. So you could argue that Fray perhaps could have set themselves up a tri-lane a little bit more effectively. They did finish off with Cthulhuphon Electrician, and maybe that wasn't the greatest a couple of heroes to maybe match up against that trial lane, but at the same time, what is going on here? Because Cthulhuphon does have Hatchet, and Pebbles is also heading top. is Pebbles actually going to play a role of trying to just simply lock down the Sand Wraith up here and allow Cthulhu to farm? That would be something.
I'm going to try and avoid making predictions here because I feel so far out of my element between tri-lanes and... I mean, I'm glad we had that history lesson on tri-lanes yesterday because it's going to come in quite handy. Now I'm wishing I had taken notes because I mean, just wow. It's... I don't know. What you're saying about Pebbles... I really don't know what to make of it. I mean, I'm trying to even recall a time when I've seen kind of a more of a support style Pebbles where he's not picking up farm.
Yeah,
I can't. Nothing's coming to mind.
Never. I've never seen that. So that would be something different. Now, I will say Cthulhu Font does have a pretty solid advantage. And that actually was what maybe makes this a little bit better the more I think about it. Is that Trample does go over Behemoth Fissure Stun. So if Behemoth is either using it to try to trap him in or defensively to maybe save that Aluna or Sand Wraith, that will still go over the Fissure Stun. So that is actually something to keep in mind here.
That's true.
When you look at this Cthulhu Font, they're going to be scouted here, so obviously
I mean,
not going to be too much. But
maybe Cthulhu's going to end up jungling a little bit? I don't know. It just seems weird that him and Pebbles will be in lane with Cthulhu Font having a hatchet.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess Cthulhu Font could just be more of a pure jungle than having him for Pebbles top, but Pebbles is going to get nothing up here. And I guess... you really can't say like they don't have it. They don't have a Bubbles. They don't have a Wretched Hag. Obviously, both of those on the Hellborn team. They don't have a Valkyrie who was banned. So, yeah, I mean, their options were pretty limited, I guess, when it came to making the pick. So it actually does make more sense the more I think about it here.
Maybe even just use him as kind of a Plague Rider style to deny the lane. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case quite yet. He still hasn't leveled up in ability, but given where he is, looks like it'll be a Hook'em, pick up a big creep here. I mean, he could use Hook'em to try and deny the lane, maybe get it back towards the tower. I really don't know. You see, Pebble's going to use his stun already, and no, Slick's going to go in. He's going to get trapped. The stun does come out, but if Slick survives this, I'll be shocked. Down he goes. Sender picks up the Bloodlust.
What was he doing? I don't even know what he was doing there.
Did he not realize it was a tri-lane? I mean, Behemoth was off in the trees.
I mean, yeah, maybe he didn't figure Behemoth had the position that he had, but still, I mean, he really went up there quite a bit to go for some creep kills, and so you got to know that there's a tri-lane up here. So I don't think it's that. I think it's just kind of a dirt moment of not realizing that Behemoth had the position. What's N4 doing for that matter? She needs to be careful right here. Oh man, this Fissure Stun's going to hit. She's going to be trapped, and they're going to get another kill right. Oh, the wrong side. That's unfortunate. That was another 100% free kill for tdM. So a little bit unfortunate they don't get that, but yeah, Frenetic Array having some very very curious moments here at this top lane. Not too sure what they kind of thinking. I mean, not a team that was around when the tri-lane existed. So, but no, it's still not an excuse. So yeah, I'm not sure what the logic is with what happened there, but let's go for the Hellborn team.
Yeah, the creeps are taking out... Oh, this is the Behemoth Fissure. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate, actually. So the creeps are going to push up here, and that does give Pebbles the opportunity to pick up a couple of last hits, which actually he doesn't. He didn't get a single one of them, so that's, again, unfortunate. We're going to see this creep pull, and I don't know, man. I really don't know. Let's take a look at the other lanes, though, while that is continuing. We do see Wretched Hag going up against Torture in the mid, WTF facing off against Moon Meander in that 1v1 heads-up scenario, and down in the bottom, B-Kid on Bubbles facing off against Leon Black's Electrician. But both of these 1v1 lanes should be relatively stagnant compared to this tri-lane action, at least thus far. I'm still trying to make sense of all this. Pairs, we were right, though, about Cthulhu Font in the jungle. He is now sitting level 3, going to opt for, we'll see what he does with that third skill point, if it's the Hook'em or the Trample. Looks like it is going to be Trample, so probably going to be heading up to this top lane to try and set something up. Nymphora barely going to be able to survive here, but will survive nonetheless.
There was also a buff to his Desert's Curse. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I believe there was a buff to his Desert's Curse as well, whether it was a mana decrease or maybe a cooldown decrease on it. So that's just another thing to kind of keep in mind. Again, I'm just sitting here like thinking back in some old school Sand Wraith. But anyways, speaking of that though, they've been using it very, very aggressively, and they've constantly been applying the pressure to that top lane. Now, you look at the farm of Sand Wraith, and it honestly isn't. What's that?
He was buffed today. Look at your patch notes. Enemies under the effect of Desert's Curse will now always take the bonus damage from Deserted when attacked. That's actually kind of huge. Is it?
Huh.
So if you're hit with Desert's Curse, Sandwraith can get up to 45 extra true damage.
So yeah, it doesn't matter if you're alone or not, you will be taking that extra damage. Okay, yeah. We probably should have... See, I looked at those patches, we talked about the ones that were pretty obvious in terms of like heroes that we see, but he looked over the Sandwraith change and it didn't hit me to check that maybe he did get a buff, but lo and behold he did. Now, yeah, that is powerful, and that is the buff to the... I was thinking of another one, but that is actually a really good buff to the Desert's Curse as well, so definitely interesting. He is going to take a combo right here. Yo, Sandwraith will barely live, though. We have voice of volatile pod nuke. Wow. How did he live right there? I thought for sure he was dead, but no, he lived. Well played on his part. Great team support, I guess is the better way to put it, as he somehow survives there.
Yeah, so this just got a lot more interesting as far as Sandwraith getting buffed. We see, in the bottom, Bubble's actually taking a good bit of damage, but no kill going to come out. So not too many kills happening, but yeah, I mean, that doesn't seem like a huge buff. I mean, is that enough to really make tri-lane Sandwraith viable, is my question. And I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see in this game, but certainly interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It does make him much more of an aggressive tri-lane carry hero than he used to be in the past big time. In fact, oh no, he's going to be stopped right there. He was about to Desert's Curse, so maybe not enough mana, so never mind, but Pebbles gets in his way and stops him from actually going through if he was going to, so good stop right there. And Cthulhu Fun will end up living, obviously, in the health potion, but yeah, Cthulhu Fun has kind of transitioned to being more in the lane now, obviously, as we've seen lately. And, you know, Sandwraith's farm, it isn't the most impressive. He is 19-2, but you compare that to everyone else's creep score in terms of creep kills, as Bubble's at the bottom lane in the meantime. Wow, he's going to barely survive right there, as Electrician doing a lot of damage, but he's right now in 4th place overall. And for a tri-lane hard to carry, you know, that's, especially in the short lane for that matter, you really need him to get very, very, very effective farm. That's the ultimate goal of it, because you are nerfing experience especially, but, you know, really not happening all too well. So that Bloodlust kill was great and all, but not working out the best right now.
I mean, as far as tri-lanes are concerned, I mean, are we talking just ultimate free farm? Should he be sitting well above 300 GPM right now?
No, not ultimate free farm, and that's where the credit to the other team comes in. And this is more of a what we used to call a killer tri-lane. Simply making the point that, by the way, they're going to jump Sandwraith right here. Here comes a trample, and Sandwraith's very likely going to fall. No, he goes right over the ledge because of the Desert's Curse, and he will survive yet again. You gotta love that hero. In comes Wretchedak, taking out Nymphora, and Pebbles will very likely fall. The power throw connects. Oh, the mana battery saves him just a little bit longer. Flash coming up in 4 seconds, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna die right here, as there's a flash, there's an attack, and, well, there's the Common Rotan on top of that, so... Great job right there by Moonme, and you're picking up the double taps. Desert's Curse, man, doing work here so far for Tralmador.
Yeah.
Barely keeping him alive. But anyways, back to the point, this is more of a killer tri-lane in the sense that the Legion's tri-lane isn't about getting farm on a specific hero. It's about simply stopping Sandwraith's farm. And in this case, yes, the farm of Sandwraith is going to be nerfed. So that's where it does make a little bit more sense why it is. But it is still unfortunate that it is really maximum potential. But he is doing good. He has 3 assists and, you know, is staying alive. So that is the ultimate point here for the Sandwraith, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Then that all sort of makes sense. We see a pretty big lane shuffle coming out from Fray here. Pebble is going to head down to this bottom lane. I see Cthulhu heading back to the Legion jungle, and Electrician actually farming up the jungle a little bit. So right now, it's just Nymphora at the top, and I'm not really sure why Fray is just going to let Sandwraith free farm. Now, I mean, they were doing a pretty good job shutting him down, as we were noting, but, I mean, he's got absolute free farm now. There's no one up here getting solo experience, so Fray is going to shuffle things around. Down in the bottom, though, Pebble's going to get taken out. He's not going to be able to survive against the Bubbles Wretched Hag combo, and he's going to fall, so Pebble's really going to be struggling in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you make of this, Breaky? Like I said, I'm still a little...
Again, this is a big downside of running, you know, a tri-lane in a sense, and the thing is, it wasn't even really tri-lane, but obviously with Cthulhu, he spent a good amount of time in the jungle earlier on, at least to get to the level 3 point, I believe, where it basically was a 3 versus 2 lane, and Pebbles really wasn't getting much farm, let alone experience. But even when it does develop into that tri-lane, your experience is nerfed because, of course, you're sharing it with 2 other heroes. And so, you know, we're seeing him now just barely hitting level 5, and we're 8.5 minutes in. That's definitely one of the lower levels in the game, and he's just doing what he can to recover. But yeah, the idea of Fray's counter tri-lane, you can call it up top here, definitely didn't work out. In fact, Samwraith's going to ultimate, and he's going to go for a kill at the bottom lane with the assistance of Bubbles and Wretched Hag jumping onto Pebbles. They are making sure Slicks gets absolutely nothing in this game. They really respect Slicks' Pebble, and they are accomplishing that. That is already 4 deaths for him. So they kind of were forced to do this, but he's 2 levels lower than this Bubbles and Hag alone. That's huge, and obviously we keep seeing now a couple times that that's going to be big, and they're going to push this bottom lane now. Fraser, or tdM, excuse me, is definitely in a pretty solid spot here early on.
Yeah, and I mean, in this game, it seems a wild card factor totally just, I mean, Fray's, like you said, their reaction as far as setting up that tri-lane to stop Sandwraith, I mean, they were sort of successful in stopping Sandwraith, but the damage done to Slicks was just so much more detrimental. Like you said, 0-4, and one of the lowest levels in the game makes this so rough. Hag gonna get engaged on here by Electrician, but gonna be a little bit of a counter-engaged. Behemoth Fissure, unfortunately, gonna be on the wrong side there, and I think Electrician gonna be able to survive. No, actually, BK gonna go in and will finish him off. Wretched Hag maybe in a little bit of trouble, gonna be able to blink back to safety. So now Aluna going to be left here, and Ascender is going to get taken down. So WTF going to be able to pick up that kill. First kill of the game coming out for Frenetic Array. So that's good news. 10 minutes in here. They're actually not that big of a deficit. 1.6k gold, only about 500 experience. So not the end of the world, but we'll see Sandwraith pick up a regeneration rune here as he heads towards that mid lane. And just going to keep farming away. Looking at the GPM tab, Sandwraith is on the rise, sitting around 240 GPM. And kind of on par with the leading farmer on the Legion team, which of course is WTF on that Torturer.
Yeah. You see again, Sandwraith now coming to the middle lane and picking up farm in there. So that life tube, obviously expecting it to be, in fact, nope, that's not being delivered to him, but expecting it to be that early Helm of the Black Legion for him, and then going to be going from there. So. Yeah, it's good that they got the kill at the bottom lane for Fray, but still, tdM has that slight advantage again, especially when you're dealing with a Sandwraith. It's kind of like that majoring aspect of you can never be too certain, you can never be too comfortable in a game, even if you have the lead, let alone when you're down earlier on in the game. So it's now at that 256 mark and continue to rise. Bubbles and Wretched Hag, though, they've definitely been the big impact here for Trademark Esports. B-Kid and Moon Meander specifically have definitely been doing a lot of work, and that's another thing I like to talk about as well. When you do have a lineup that is focused around that really hard carry about getting him farm, a very good strategy is to build an aggressive lineup around him, so you can kind of play that 4 versus 5 mode, and that's definitely what they've accomplished here. You know, with 2 great porting gotcha heroes in that Hag and Bubbles. In fact, Hag's going to go in right here. Obviously not going to do too much, but she did avoid the chain reaction stun.
Yeah.
As well, so that was good for her. Pebbles continuing to do his thing, though, at the bottom lane, by the way. In fact, Sandwraith ultimate going to be activated. Wretched jumps in onto Pebbles. Sandwraith ports in. The Desert Scripts is put out. There's the Shell Surf, and down goes Pebbles. Good job by Sandwraith as well. Avoiding the stalagmites, or at least preemptively avoiding it. Nymphora did also fall right there as the Fidget on sniped her down. So double tap for Z-Freak, and tdM going to group up and push now, it looks like.
Yeah, and that is good news for Z-Freak on that Behemoth. Now sitting 2-0-3, actually. So he's about 124 GPM. And having a pretty good time on Behemoth, all things considered. They are going to put some pressure on this tower, and it may indeed fall. Look at that Fissure stun, going to block them all in. There's the Kelp Field, going to catch all 3 heroes. Moomiander going to hop in and finish off with Talaba. And Electrician still here with a little bit of health. Torture as well. And they are going to keep the tower alive for now. tdM actually not being too aggressive here. Moonmeander in a little bit of trouble. Is going to have that power supply up in a couple of seconds, though, and should be able to blink to safety, and indeed he shall. So he is in good shape. The tower's still alive, and it is just barely out of deny range. So that is, well, I suppose bad news for Fray, as they're probably looking to score deny on that tower. But you know, tdM escapes without conceding another death. So 9-1 as far as hero kills. Now tdM still continuing to look good, while Sandwraith continues to farm up in the top lane. He's just up by himself. Troutmador playing World of Warcraft up here, hacking and slashing down some creeps, and his GPM constantly on the rise. Now, you know, just below the 300 GPM mark, around 285.
Yeah, it's Legion side, tdM, or fray, excuse me. They're in a race now. They need this Pebbles to recover so big, and obviously I think that's a big reason why tdM focused so much early on in this game to make sure to lock down Pebbles. Being played by Slicks here, that he was not getting anything. He already has those 5 deaths, so I think that's mission accomplished right there. But yeah, fray is definitely on that timetable of, can they get that portal key? Can they get in for a level 6? And can they have Pebbles actually start going around, setting up these kills? This is not going to help things. Oh, he is going to barely live, as Moon Meander choosing its best not to do any tower diving, figuring there was support nearby. So, and again, that's one of those cases of he's blind, we're not, and at least wanted to play it safe. Bottom tower will go down, though, as that's what you talked about earlier. It was just at a deny range, and sure enough, the creep wave comes in and is able to take it out for the Hellborn's favor. So, more good news for Trademark. But yeah, they're definitely on the timetable of, we need Pebbles, man. We need him to get that farm, and we need to get it very quickly to have any chance. Because if he cannot recover, if he cannot get that portal key and start moving around with Nymphora, Fred literally has no chance. I mean, Samwraith is just going to get way too big. He's going to have that Helm of the Black Legion, as I said, very shortly, and that alone makes him so difficult to deal against with his abilities as well. So
exactly right. I mean, he's going to get that point, as you mentioned. A hero just like Magebane, where he hits that critical mass, it's inevitable. It's one of those situations where you either have to lock him down or you have to push hard. You have to do something to get super far ahead early on. But without that, there's just no chance. He's definitely going to take you over. Down in the bottom lane, Moon Meander does solo down Riser, so level 9 Hag going to take out a level 5 Nymphora. Not too surprised to see that, and I actually did miss it as Nymphora got completely obliterated by the Bat Blast Sonar Scream combo. Not enough time to react, Breaky.
Yeah, and you know, I really look back at this picking stage again, and I think to myself, I know really how well tdM picked and banned against Frenetic Array. They caught them off guard with that final pick, and Sandwraith, and because of the setups, you know, tdM or fray, they tried to run kind of a ghetto tri-lane, you can call it, at that top lane, but sending Pebbles suicide lane in the first place, again, where in a game where he was going to be such a key, you could definitely look back at that and say that that was probably a poor decision. Sandwraith will get cover here, but again, oh, he did not get away. I thought he actually got away in time with his ultimate, but no, he ended up dying down here as Leon Black gets credit for the kill. But wow, that was actually really close. I thought he actually ported out, like I said, but
I think it was while he was porting, Leon Black managed to get that energy absorption off, and like you said, his corpse ended down in that mid lane.
So, very good news for our Legion team. That's not the first death there for Sandwraith, who I believe, though, finished his home with the Black Legion before that death, so at least that's the good news for Tralfamador there, despite him dying. But yeah, that's, you know, they probably should have maybe focused around this Pebbles more, maybe centered that bottom lane. But at the same time, you know, who are they going to send top then? Electrician or Torturer would have got literally no farm, absolutely nothing. So it really does put you in a very difficult situation there. If you're fray, and again, I think that's where the credit's due for the picking stage from Trademark Esports. But a good tower push from fray coming out right there at the top lane in the meantime.
Yeah. Oh, no, exactly right. And to credit the point you were making, I mean, Sandwraith was that 10th pick wild card for tdM. So you're right, you know, looking at those heroes, it's a pretty good read saying, well, if we pick Sandwraith, how are they going to react to this? They don't really have a lot of options to react to it effectively. Either Sandwraith gets free farm, or they try this, quote, ghetto tri-lane, in which they're pretty confident, as it worked out nicely for them. So a nice Fissure Stun going to keep Electrician out of the way here as they put some pressure on this tower. Looks like it may get denied, and it will. So nice deny there from Talibus. A nice effort from tdM, but unfortunately unable to finish off the tower themselves, though they still... looking pretty good here. I mean, as we mentioned several times, the fact that they've got any kind of lead this early on and that they have a Sandwraith is good news. So all they have to do is hang in there, and eventually we'll see Tralfamador just hit that critical mass. So, Maka Brilliance, is that 100% the next item that he's going to be picking up here, Breaky? Do you feel
100%? I mean, confident? It's at least if it's anything like what we used to see. I mean, really, Maka Brilliance. Now, Geometer's Bane is also a pickup that we could see, but usually that does come after the Maka Brilliance, if anything. You know, and then of course, you know, Frostal Skull, another very popular item. In fact, he's going to ulti right here. He's going to go to the middle lane. because a big team fight coming up. Bat Blast going to come out, cut through the fall, will fall electrician on top of that as well. The double damage. Wretched Act doing work right there. Picks up one of those kills. Nice denying the tower as well. And the rest will run away. Or will they? Nymphora gets jumped by Wretched Act, but Pebbles looking to turn around. The red power thrower comes out, and Pebbles will very likely fall here as well. He knows he's dead. He just stands his ground, doing as much damage as possible to set up a counter kill for Torture at least. But at what cost for Torture? And now Bubbles chasing, doesn't have a kill field. Torture going to try to juke right here. Doesn't have a homecoming stone, but I think he may have done it at least for now, as he's going to skirt it out. Oh, he's going to run right into a Luna. Uh-oh, now you're in a lot of trouble. He's going to impale by chain reactions, maybe going to kill himself. The Shell Surf will miss. It's not going to see it. No, that's going to be a kill, though. And that'll complete, well, basically was a genocide for Trademark Esports. So, again, just so much damage coming out, so much great teamfight presence, and that lead becomes even bigger. But yeah, so Frost of Skull, Geometry Bane, maybe a couple of other items, so I guess that Frostburn even, but really Mocker Brilliance is
that core
was the go-to. It's pretty much it. So
yeah, and the few other things about Sandwraith, when he uses that ult, it's just so disorienting. You know, seeing all that stuff pop up on your stream, it's a really great initiation tool just to catch the other team off guard. And also, I mean, Sandwraith sitting 0-1 in 10. He has the most assists in the game by a long shot. Again, with that global ulti, allows him to kind of rack up that gold when those team fights start. So, you know, further just evidence of Sandwraith being, you know, kind of an effective here. Like you were saying, it can be a little bit hard to lock down, sort of like that Mage Bane with the Desert's Curse as well as the ultimate. Can definitely be a hard hero to gank early on, which makes him that much more frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, it does. And, you know, he is getting to that takeoff, or he's been at that takeoff, I guess, for a while now. You see him pulling up some gold, 1,700 gold now saved up, and well on his way to that possible Mocker Brilliance that I'm sure is going to be in the works here for Tralfamador on that Sandwraith. Legion team, keep going back to them though, and again, the focus still really is on this Pebbles. They don't have another game plan, I don't believe. I mean, I can't see another thing possibly working for them. So really, Pebbles getting that portal key and just starting to move around right away with this Nymphora, getting kills left and right. The fact that he's 0-6-2 still is just not good news. But again, he has recovered, to his credit. He has recovered. He is at 223 gold per minute right now, and that is getting up there. So, and the level 6 Nymphora, of course, is ready to go as soon as he gets that portal key. So, if they can manage to get jumps on this Bubbles, on this Wretched Hag, on the Illuna or Behemoth for that matter, really everyone else but Sandwraith, they can start feeding some kills. So, still a chance, but again, it's
still a chance. I don't know. I mean, by the time he gets that portal key, he still only has 1,400. It's at that point now where, yeah, if they catch a Luna, that's a free kill, but everyone else, I mean, they've got their magic armor, maybe Behemoth as well. He's lacking that magic armor, trying to save for that portal key. But everyone else, I mean, they're tanky enough now that they're not really going to be easy kills. So it makes me a little bit nervous as well. We do see an invisible Bubbles down here in the bottom lane, going to be looking to set something up. tdM sort of in the general vicinity down around their tower. Looking for that solo kill. Pebbles. Uh-oh, Pebbles doesn't have those cooldowns now, and this could be that opportunity that Bubbles is looking for. Seeing Pebbles in the jungle here. Is tdM going to come over and try and support it? How much time left on this Invis rune here? About 10 seconds, so Bubbles is going to have to make something happen here, and there it is. The ultimate from Sandwraith going to come in. The Kelp Field, and they are going to set this up on Bubbles. Or on Pebbles, pardon me. Nymphora going to fall as well. The double tap coming out from B-Kid as he picks up both kills with a Shell Surf. So very nicely done. Of course, that invisibility rune proving to be super effective.
Yeah, obviously that's the biggest difference right there. You know, when you compare a hero like Sandwraith to a Mage Bane, the fact that Sandwraith will always, well, not always, depending on the cooldown, of course, but he will be able to join you in a team fight no matter where it is. He will be able to support you. He will be able to help set up ganks even. He doesn't even need to port in. I mean, those illusions alone can definitely do a decent amount of damage, if not disorient the other team enough and make them freak out to the point where it will lead to success for your team. So, another perfect example of it right there, as he's shown several times in this game. So, yeah, definitely showing off his power. They were farming Ancients in the meantime, the rest of the team, and Behemoth actually used his ultimate to even help clear the Ancients, which I thought was a little bit interesting. But it is, you know, it's one of those points, though. He's not planning to use it in the next 150 seconds or whatever it is. Might as well use it to get finish off the Ancients right there. He is very close to that portal key now, though. Yeah. And will start being able to take advantage of that. So, Sandwraith, 2,700 gold pulled up, getting closer and closer to that sort of the high, and then eventually that Mocker Brilliance.
Yeah, he's getting there. It's getting to that point. You know, between the Mocker Brilliance getting close on Sandwraith and that portal key getting close on Behemoth, tdM's really starting to look scary. Speaking of portal keys, though, Mr. Pebbles here has picked up his own portal key. So Slicks playing that Edward Norton Pebbles here. I don't know. This is the time breaky. Is it going to be enough? You know, we're talking about if he can get some picks with that Nymphora. It looks like right away Nymphora is going to come over and they're going to try to make something happen, or when they have some vision, perhaps. So this is make it or break it time, I suppose one could say, with this Pebbles Nymphora combo.
It is. That's what I kept going back to, and I still truly believe it. I mean, this is your chance now for Frenetic Array to make something happen here. In fact, you see that they're very aware of that well. They start grouping up. And they're starting to make a push now here in the middle lane to see what they can actually make happen here. So that's an illusion wretched attack. Actually, see if you're going to call for a pause here. So tdM will have a take care of an issue real quickly, and then can be coming back into this game here. But yeah, we'll see if they continue to push. Obviously, Pebbles now next to Nymphora in the background. Makes me wonder maybe if they're thinking about porting to this top lane. But again, you're not going to kill Sandwraith, I'm sorry. You're not, at this point even, so with a Portakey, I mean, that'll be great, but you're not going to kill Sandwraith, so it definitely wouldn't be worth that investment, I don't think, at least. Instead, you'd be better off, hanging out here and maybe try to get a better opportunity, but, that right now is their only visible target for our Legion team, and yeah, highly doubt that's who they're going to go for, so we will see, though, what they do after this pause.
Yep, Behemoth has now picked up his portal key, so he's in good shape. This Behemoth skin is really strange. He's got like a little elephant trunk in the front, some tusks.
Yeah, that's
is Behemoth an elephant?
The boombox Behemoth. Behemoth is a cow, damn it.
So what's up with his?
Already been over this.
It's weird. It's weird. I never noticed that he has a trunk with this skin. I do like this skin.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh, I actually prefer this one over the regular one, yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
Big fan of this Behemoth skin. And we just see Ninja Turtle Bubbles again.
B-Kid doing work.
B-Kid doing work. B-Kid actually is doing work here. He is 4-0-8. Second highest assist in the game. He's having a damn good time on this Bubbles, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had a great series and, a great game yet again. He's just one of those players on this team that always very consistent. Similar to WTF for Frenetic Array, actually. I've actually complimented him on the past on this. It always seems like WTF will have a good game. B-Kid is the exact same way. Always seems like he will have a good game. He will be your solid player. And he may not be the quote-unquote star player of the team in a lot of eyes, but he is definitely very deserving of that title, in my opinion at least. And at the same time also very, very, very consistent. That's what helps make him such a great player. He's also been around from the very beginning. I mean,
yeah, B-Kid is a name that has definitely been around the scene for quite some while.
Great individual. Love to hang out with him, and looking forward to meeting him at DreamHack once again. So, but here we go. What are they going to do out of this pause? And see, no port's going to be happening. So instead, Fray feeling comfortable falling back and maybe trying to scout somebody out. Obviously, going to run into this illusion. Oh, that's an illusion. Okay, here comes a real wretched hack now, and here we go with that counter. Sandwraith will port in as well with the ultimates all over the place. Pebbles dropping quickly. The Bat Blast, a great fidget storm right there, blocking off the support. Down goes Nymphora. Torture going to fall. An Electrician in the background. Like, guys, my whole team's dead. Cthulhu Font is going to start falling as well. Don't see him getting away. He has trample up in 2 seconds. He will be able to use it, it looks like, but it's not going to matter. Nope, can't even use it. Dies before, so Electrician, Leon Black will get away, but again, what bait right there. And that's the illusions, man. Usually one of those runes, I know a lot of people look at it, they're like, it's an illusion rune, damn it. They can be powerful, as we saw right there. Catches out the team off guard.
Exactly. I mean, I honestly, I thought it was the real hack at first as well. I didn't realize he had illusions activated during that pause, and it's... Yeah, I mean, it can be disorienting. Right in that, if there aren't words around that heat of the moment, it's like, oh, it's Hag, get him, and then it's like, oh, crap. So you're right. I mean, Illusion Rune's definitely probably the most hated rune, I think you could say. Not getting enough love.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely think that's true. And again, I know I do it myself. I mean, I'm like, Illusion Rune, damn it, but it really, it's obviously a multi-purpose in the sense it's great for scouting, but it's also very useful for situations like that. If you can use it for bait purposes, as we saw right there, it can definitely be fight changing. So that no doubt was big right there for that fight. So very well played again by Moomiander, kind of positioning those illusions, getting ready for that possible opportunity there.
Definitely right, good sir. But at this point, I mean, tdM really looking promising. Sandwraith picking up that Sword of the High, only 400 gold off that Mock of Brilliance recipe.
Yeah.
He's about to hit critical mass here, Breaky. Level 14. He's 0-1 and 15 now. We're looking at that Cthulhu font statistic.
Holy crap.
Yeah, earlier there was a Cthulhu font 0-0 and 8, but 0-1 and 15. That's ridiculous.
Doing work. That's that ultimate, man. That he presses R whenever there's a fight going on, and he will guarantee himself an assist. So, a little bit of push going on here at the bottom lane. Obviously, Moonmander off to the side. He does have an Invis rune activated, so unaware. In fact, Pebbles will combo right there. Ooh, and here we go. They know his combo's down. I'm not sure about that decision. Samwraith will pour it in. Will he test his curse? No, not enough mana for test his curse, actually. That's kind of a big deal, but Pebbles will get caught. Will chuck Samwraith away, but the Bat Blast comes out, finishing him off. The Sonar Scream hitting Torture as well, and Torture dropping quickly. Behemoth jumps in with an ultimate on top of Cthulhu Font and the Electrician, and they will start dropping, but not enough. Trample coming out, not going to be enough to win the Electrician and Cthulhu Font fall. And there's the port out from Nymphoria. GG's are being called, and it looks like Trademark Esports are going to be your ESL Major Series number 10 Heroes and Newer Champions. Congratulations to them.
Certainly right. I mean, congratulations indeed, winning the ace match of an epic best-of-3 series with an 0-1 and 18 Sandwraith. Wow. What does this mean? I mean, is Sandwraith maybe going to be popping up from time to time here? Are we going to start seeing more Sandwraiths?
Are we going to start seeing tri-lane Sandwraiths again? Please tell me now. Please tell me.
I don't know. I mean, that was just a really strong game. I mean, notably, this game was pretty situational with Sandwraith. It's hard to say whether that was tdM's plan the whole time or if it was one of those kind of good reads at the end, as we noted.
I think it was just a better pick there.
Yeah, right.
That's as you're about to say that again. Sorry to cut you off, but I really think it was just that better pick, and the picking stage won it here for tdM, no doubt. It threw fray completely off guard, and their lanes were shit because of it. It really was, and that showed in the laning phase there. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, Slicks ended that game 0-9-2 at 213 GPM, and that is not traditional for a Slicks Pebbles. I think we even said in the picking phase when he readied up right away, like, uh-oh, this is going to be a little scary. Slicks on Pebbles. tdM, what you thinking? And yeah, I mean, like I was going to say, Sandwraith was that 10th pick, so truly a wild card. And just a good read by tdM. So I wonder whose actual idea that was. You know, B-Kid was the drafter this time. Was that a B-Kid idea to pick up that Sandwraith?
B-Kid decision? I don't know. We'll have to definitely ask them one day. And
Detective Breaky's on the case.
That out. See what I can get out of them.
Yeah. But
what a day, man.
What a day. What a day.
Great series today.
No, 2 best-of-3 series that both went to the ace match. So quite a few games today.
Yeah.
Good games as well. So that does wrap up the coverage for today, guys, though. Breaky, closing thoughts, words?
Oh, man, it's, again, a hell of a day today, and congratulations to both the winning teams that ended up being victorious today. I don't want to spoil the previous series, but, of course, to hear Trademark Esports defeating Frenetic Array and defeating or taking the ESL Major Series 10 championship title, so as well as the €2,500 prize pool. Again, a lot of money there. That I'm sure they're going to be happy to have. So, Fray, though, finishing the runner-up, nothing to be too ashamed about. But again, I'll tell you this much: we got Fray, tdM, and Blackfade all playing today. Several best of the threes. You know that it's so cool that it worked out that way because again, we're going to this DreamHack event about a month from now, and those 3 teams going to be the 3 big name teams really in that event. So we got a cool idea today of how they're going to match up against one another, at least earlier on. Definitely not an exact idea, but. It was cool kind of seeing that teaser, you can almost say. But, yeah I was excited for today, and glad we're finished. But tomorrow, we are actually planning to cover an amateur event, guys. So don't expect to see your top-tier teams. Don't expect to see your tdM, Fray, or Blackfade. We're covering an amateur event. It actually started today called the Raptor. I believe it's the Raptor Gaming Amateur Cup, if I'm not mistaken, where I think like 64 teams signed up, so it's good to see. We're going to actually be covering the semifinals and finals tomorrow, and that's actually set to start at 1 p.m. Pacific, 2200 Central European time. So there will be some honcast tomorrow as well for you guys to check out and hopefully enjoy. But today... we are finished.
Today we're finished. I will not be here tomorrow either, so it will be Breaky and Breaky's special friend. I don't know who it will be.
Not sure yet, to be honest, but yeah, we'll see.
Whoever's lucky enough to be graced by the Breaky CPK presence.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's where we're coming from right there. So, regardless, GG's, well played. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Of course, shameless plugs. Follow everything on Twitter at ZyoriTV, at BreakyCPK, at Honcast, and at Heroes of Neworth. So I think that wraps up for today, though, guys. The VODs will be posted eventually, I do believe. I think we had some VOD recording today. So good stuff. If you missed any of the games, go back and check them out. I know I'm going to be going back and looking at this Sandwraith replay because I'm still a little dumbfounded. So I'm gonna have to go do some research on tri-lanes now, Breaky, just in case they start to come back. So I have some homework ahead of me.
Yeah. That's you know what, the success of what happened here in this game. I don't know. We'll see.
You never know.
We'll see.
Waiting for the moon speech.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Go to his stream, guys. I'm sure he's got that on already, and doing it, having his fun over there.
I'm sure as well. All right, guys. Well, take care. See you tomorrow. Saturday amateur tournament. Peace out.